last time, uh, day 174 of year 1116, on the desert moon of Karth in the Vinfall solar system, orbiting the gas giant Tiburnus, you all discovered the Valley Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in addition to that, the old Rejuve Center, a resort place with all sorts of strange technology, and the centrifuge that you were looking for which two factions have offered to pay you very handsomely for. In addition, as we speak, in the past few days, an army marches from the Dawn Seekers and the Silver Spire onto the frontier town, the colony town of Larstown. So I feel like the music is too soft.
It's too soft. It needs to be
I didn't get a link for the VTT.
Yeah, nobody's even in it.
I also did not
No one is like,
He's sitting there alone.
The music is very quiet for me. In fact,
needs to be more hardcore. Find a Warhammer soundtrack. There you go.
There actually is a Traveler metal album out there.
Metal album.
There you go.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah. You know, the first time and this one seems really obvious, but the first time I ever played Morkborg, I really liked music, and the guy running it, he didn't have any music, and I was just like, I wonder, and I just Googled it. Sure enough, first thing, official album, metal music for Morkborg. You know,
was your first Morkborg game the one where we started on the ship?
You were there. Prisoners? You were there. We shall, because this is let's not kid ourselves. This is not a family show. Well, let me put it this way. The things that happened on that ship were even worse, and we cannot even speak of them here.
No. What happens to Morkborg stays in Morkborg until it's recorded.
That's right.
That was great and graphic.
No, I'm missing somebody. I don't know how. I thought we had 6.
I'm not in yet.
Yeah,
I'm still loading.
I'm not in yet. My internet's being fritzy, so.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
2,
I might
3,
just have
4,
to
5, 6. Oh, we had 7 is what it was. Oh,
Yeah,
also, oh yeah, that's right. Actually, he can't join us tonight. That's what it is. Yeah.
There is the
Andrew.
Dawn's secret lover over there. So, while everything's being set up, I got a question.
Yeah.
That orbital defense laser, it has to have like lenses on it so that people can see what it's shooting at. Is there any way to hack into that from inside Larstown or something, or is that something we would have to like go and investigate?
Yeah. So, great question. You would automatically know that what you're saying is true. There's definitely a control system, and it could be controlled remotely. In order to do that, you would need to find. There's something, because you're so high in engineering. You don't have to roll. I'll tell you this. There's something very specific. You would need to find a control mechanism. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. You would know that you would need a physical security access device. Now, you don't know exactly how this works. This is some kind of like far future antediluvian technology that is like beyond the Federation, that lays in space currently. But nonetheless, such a powerful system will always have some sort of physical override. And you need that physical override. And if you find it, you are absolutely certain you could gain control of that system and you could do whatever you wanted with it.
Okay, that's something to keep in my back pocket, and I will explain that plan later. Or heck, I can just tell you now, I could copy and paste some of the AI code that I have on a data pad and just stick it into the orbital defense laser coding.
Yeah, give it over
Wanna
to
just
the
hold the
AI
world hostage?
superintelligence. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that,
you know,
yeah.
That happen.
just let that go as we need a distraction anyways, because with all of our antics here, I don't know how much longer we'll be welcomed in on Karth.
And I believe we ended last time in the rejuvenation center. So while everyone's loading in, why don't I will actually hop the scene over there. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, we were in the dungeon.
It wasn't much of a dungeon, unless I missed some extra path that'll go further in.
No, well, I don't know. I just remember us getting to the front area, and that's where we stopped. And the space, Smokey the Bear cultists were standing outside.
We checked out a bunch of different ancient artifacts that all were weird and mysterious and had strange applications.
Mm-hmm.
That's
If we
true.
take
We
any
could
of
just
them,
make
we
a
have to
base
leave.
on here.
That's weird. We found out they worship those aliens that we sold.
That we totally haven't interacted with at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants to go touch the butt first on all these ancient artifacts?
And I'm good. I'm really good.
I think
You know,
someone
can't be
wanted to use the helmet.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that helmet.
What
Yeah.
was that?
It give you the best
Instantly
part of your
turns
life.
into a
I'm
psionic
either gonna get super smart or be turned into a vegetable.
Or just get a really nice hairdo. Who
Or a
knows?
perm, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was like, let's see, this was the teeth room. I think it was this one.
Oh wow, it's finally loading up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, heads up, I have no idea if I'll be able to get into Foundry at this rate, but I'll do my best.
It
You
should
guys
start
do.
speeding up. Oh, right, because the connection and stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's okay. We'll do kind of theater of the mind stuff here, and
Oh yeah.
you know,
I don't even use it to roll dice, so I think it shouldn't be too much of a problem if I can't access Foundry.
yeah, just missing out on all the cool artwork in the module.
Come
That's
on.
the only thing.
If you have any like fun visual handouts, you'll DM them to me, right, Ross?
um, okay. So, Gus, you re-enter the room that has the. Well, let's back up first of all. The desert winds pierce this building. It's ruined in places. The ceiling is caved in. You can see exposed trusses and the undergirdings of this domed-like structure in places. And there are pools of sand on the floor where the outside elements have made their way in. It's divided into 5 different rooms. It is obvious to you at this point that this was once a spa, place of recreation. But you don't know what the devices are for, except that you do have like a genius engineer with you who could easily make an attempt at a very low risk but some risk if you ever wanted to test one of them out. But anyways, in the room that has the helmet, it's tethered to a crumbling ceiling. And that's basically what you see in here. It's kind of like Total Recall. There's this thing coming down from the ceiling. You got wires and stuff, and it comes into a dome. It's obviously meant to go on your head.
Is there
Oh,
a chair that
oh.
you would sit in to put this on your head, or is it just you stand there?
You would just, in this case, unlike Total Recall, sorry, you do just stand there.
Okay.
Well, I'm just thinking, like Total Recall, do you think if one of us puts this on our noggin, it might restore our repressed memories and reveal that one of us is actually a Baron Admiral Doctor of some kind?
Just maybe a rival Baron Dr. Admiral. Like, oh my god.
Or even better, someone that actually outranks Solomon.
A Baron
President.
Dr. President?
Reminds me of that that movie where the guy Sacha Baron Cohen is like the president admiral. Whatever.
Oh,
dictator.
yeah.
Dictator
Aladdin.
or
Aladdin,
President
yeah.
Admiral Aladdin.
Okay, so Tim, not sorry, Gus, do you put the thing on your head?
unless my engineer is going to tell me that would be a bad idea, then I am definitely going to do it. The hell?
I'll look at it first. Make sure
Alright.
you're not gonna just instantly potato here.
You know, make sure it's
Also-
not like live wires, I guess, so I don't just electrocute myself.
Quick question: who's the captain for this session?
Oh, sorry, yes. The crew captain for this session, I have Glenn, did you do it last time?
No,
I didn't.
tonight was mine.
Okay, you got it. Yeah, that's right. That's because I moved.
Uh,
Yeah, so.
Captain, I strongly recommend that you demand that before Gus can put anything on his head, he has to declare his who will inherit his estate.
It's fine. It'll go to his pet hamster back on the planet.
So,
Um,
Solomon,
Yes.
it's obvious to you. So that you are confident that you could take a look at this. Do you have a toolkit?
I did not buy one. No.
Okay, without a toolkit, you would still be able to try to take a look at it. There are two. Oh, go ahead.
Could he borrow one? I got one.
Yeah, you can borrow one.
Oh. Well, then I guess we do have a toolkit on him.
Good.
Okay.
That removes one danger.
Oh.
So there
Any
is
other
one
danger?
one. Okay. The second one is that you can make a roll. I think what you add +8 to engineering.
Yep.
Okay. So essentially, the only way to get this wrong is to get snake eyes. But if you do, you'll be essentially activating the mechanism inadvertently. You know, like. But you're not going to electrocute yourself having the toolkit.
Okay.
And you're certain that you can safely take a look at it.
Let's see. Watch this be the first time I roll snake eyes. No, I got a 10.
You take a look at this, and you are this cap is similar to those headdresses that you saw on the Dawn Seekers. It connects directly to like neurons in the brain, like connects directly into a person's brain. And in this case, because there's something in there that you think it either injects something into your eyes, or it probably uses like something that's photosensitive or something to project something into your eyes. It leads you to believe that this is some kind of virtual reality experience.
Ooh.
And it's a completely thorough one. So the person that experiences this virtual reality experience will think it's real. Much
Ooh,
like
that's-
Total Recall.
That's pretty cool.
Alright,
Okay.
guys, now's not the time to stop and play video games. We
Yeah,
got shit
We have
to do.
time now.
You
Yeah,
guys
let's
don't
go
want
with
to
us.
check this out?
I mean,
Yeah, let's
I'm
take it
still
with
game to
us.
do it, but like, I mean, I know we do have like the matter of getting to Larstown to go mess around there as well. So I don't like if this is purely for leisure, then I don't know that we have that much time to do it.
Unless, of course, Ross has prepared an entire secondary RPG that we would play if we put this on.
The first time I ever played an RPG, the game master tried to do that in the third session, and we both looked at him and we were like, "No, we don't want to do that." We want to play this RPG. And he was like, oh, okay.
Roll 3d6 down the line.
He's even worse than me if you could imagine. He wants to play a different RPG all the time. He's like, actually, I know we prepared characters, but like, what about this other thing? And I'm like, no,
Oh, man.
we prepared this. Please stop. Anyways, yeah, no, there's not a secondary RPG.
I'm just saying, those jumps are pretty long. This could be nice.
Yeah. You guys can
Look,
play
look, we've got
VR
we have
Farmville.
Holly Chats,
I mean,
we
you
have
know, how about this? Like, while you guys go and inspect all the other equipment, I'll just play in my little virtual world. You know, y'all come, you know, pull my head out of the simulation when it's time to go.
So okay, I toss this over to the captain. Captain, go ahead and make a decision. Do you want to leave him in here with the simulation? You guys go check it out other stuff?
I'll keep an eye on him.
If you guys want to stay here and play virtual Farmville, go ahead. We'll go look for the part.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Well, all right. If that's the case, it doesn't take much. You can. I mentioned this last time. Actually, I think it was in the room. I think we were in this room. There is a centrifuge. It's a.
It's in the room with all the other pods, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's the one with the pods, and the pods are moving around, bumping into each other. And then there's a centrifuge and other tech like that. But the parts are intact, and you're confident. Although you're not confident, you might not bump into these pods that are moving around. Nonetheless, in that room is absolutely a functioning centrifuge.
Okay.
Meanwhile, after you leave the room, you immediately hear screaming in this room.
Oh.
Gus, roll a d5, please.
Oh, D5. Okay.
Niall was staying behind to like keep an eye on him just in case, but
Okay, let's load up our weapons and go investigate. Like,
Okay. You come back, not coming back yet. Meanwhile, Gus, you put on the helmet, and you hear some machines clicking, some hissing, some light tapping, and then all of a sudden you feel a pressure on your eyes, and then nothing seems to happen. So you take the helmet off, and this door has closed, and you're in this room alone. And all of a sudden, sparks start to fly off from the top of the machine, and they ignite something that is a compressed canister in the room. And then all of a sudden, the entire floor just immolates, despite the sand from the contents of whatever in the cylinder. And the room is on fire, and you are burning.
Is there any place to like? Is the whole floor is on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything like I could try to jump up on to, you know, like any of the equipment?
To try to get off the floor.
Yeah. I mean, the floor is lava. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So good news and bad news. In the milliseconds where the floor immolates in the 2/3 of the room, sure, you can go into the corner and get up on something that's higher. The room is quickly catching on fire, and the fire is moving up, and smoke is filling up the room. Up is also bad. And yes, the room is on fire, and the oxygen is quickly being depleted. It's already hard to breathe, and you're starting to cough from inhaling fumes and smoke.
Well,
Damn it, guys.
I do have my combination filter respirator, so like I would kind of like put that on
Yeah.
to, at least delay the onset of smoke poisoning, or what is it?
Sure. Yeah.
Smoke inhalation.
Yeah, you quickly put the thing on and secure the mask, start breathing through it. And as you do, you can see your hands, and you can see the flesh is already peeling back on your hands. and you can roll a. I think we'll start with endurance. See if it could roll below your endurance.
2d6. And that is below.
Nice.
300.
You are able to grit your teeth and overcome the terror of seeing that you are being burned alive. You have mere seconds to figure out how to get out of here.
Okay. And I'm going to call out to, my crewmates, fire, get me out of here. Where?
Yeah, around the corner and down this short hallway where that room was, you hear yelling and you hear him say that.
Is
And
there
you don't
like
detect any presence of fire, I bet.
is the ceiling open like it was? Wasn't the ceiling sort of?
The ceiling is open, and the mechanisms are hanging down, and there's part of the ceiling is caved in, and smoke is billowing up out of the top of that hole.
Is there anything I could leap to try to climb and pull myself up to the floor above?
The wires that are connecting the mechanism
that are sparking.
Yeah.
Ross, do we detect any presence of fire? Do we smell or see smoke?
Well, hold on. I'm going to see what he does.
Oh my
God. I'm gonna burn if I don't. So I might have to risk electrocution to
Okay.
pull myself out of harm's way. So
All right.
yeah, I'm gonna try to leap and pull myself out of the burning room.
Okay. You leap and grab hold of the electrical wires that are arcing and sparks flying off of them and everything. Immediately you can start to feel portions of your body go numb, and you can feel, the metallic numbness that courses through your nerves as your nerve endings catch electrical fire. And once again, make an endurance check.
That is on the money. 8.
All right, it passes
is...
then. Meanwhile, go back to everyone else. Toss the ball over to the crew captain. What do you all do?
Should we go help him, guys?
I had said that Niall would stay behind to keep an eye on him. Did that not happen? Or...
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that, so no, I missed that. I didn't hear you say that. I did not hear that at all. I apologize.
I want confirmation that this fire even exists. Or
Yeah.
I would put I bet all the money in my pockets that this is all in his head because of that stupid helmet he's wearing.
Yeah.
He's running around like a maniac, crawling on the walls and stuff.
You got a dose of skooma, don't worry.
Can we get in through the door?
Yeah, the door's open, and you come inside, and you can see Gus hanging from live electrical wires going, with the helmet on.
I'll try to tackle him, I guess.
You're going to try to tackle him?
Yeah, get him off the wires.
Yeah, okay. This to make a roll under your dexterity, see if or strength, you can pick. These are all, we're doing a lot of rolling now. These are all things that could, bad things could happen.
They're already happening.
It's already happening.
Flinging from the ceiling like a monkey. I gotta slap you upside the head.
That is under.
Nice. You're able to tackle him off, and the helmet flies off, and Gus, you slide across the sandy floor, shaking, about to vomit, no longer on fire, and no longer being electrocuted. And you look up, and your vision clears, and you can see Niall next to you. The big bulky Niall is laying next to you on the ground, and you can see everyone else just standing, looking down at you all.
Yeah.
You good?
This gotta be the worst invention I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Who would design
this
a
is
helmet?
People come here for vacation.
I mean, some people have different tastes and others.
I'm like looking at my hands and seeing,
The random man's like, don't
of,
judge me. Everybody's into different stuff. What?
Yeah,
looking for signs of burns and,
Yeah, you look and you're fine, except that you did grab hold of a live electrical current, but you're not burned and there's no marks and yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well. Don't put the helmet on.
Everybody's quiet for a while, and you just say that.
You know, imagine I have a little.
Okay.
You know, and I'll start to just explain. You know, like I mean, everything went on fire. I'm burning. I'm trying to leap onto electrical wires, getting shocked. I don't call this a vacation device.
Is this an interrogation room?
Maybe.
I have a curiosity. So this thing is like tied into the infrastructure of the room itself, right?
Yes.
There's no way that we would be able to make this a mobile device.
Actually, if you take the time, if you take a full watch, probably Solomon could disconnect this device.
Make it like a freestanding, just a helmet you can put on, and then we press an on button, and then we ruin someone's whole day.
Yeah.
Oh, we could use this as a.
I'm just saying, this could
Exactly.
be one of the most creative weapons in our entire arsenal if we know how to
Oh,
use it
man.
right.
Yeah.
Even better than your net. Even better than your net.
I don't know, like I can think of a few applications that my net wouldn't be able to cover. So
Oh, true.
Yeah, if you take a full watch, Solomon can disconnect this.
Yeah.
I have a horrible idea.
I don't know if that's our priority. I mean, I think you know.
No, I'm gonna tie it back to the priority. However, I want to.
No, I mean, yeah,
I have no confidence that this plan would work, but hear me out. So we get this thing as a helmet, well, that we can bring with us, and we go back to the Dawn Seekers, and we tell them that on our quests to go, I don't know, when we had to photograph the statues on their behalf, we found some ancient ruins of their ancestors. They got the sunburst symbol on them, you know, the first settlers here in Karth. And there's this ancient helmet, and you should totally wear it going into the battle. Trust me, bro.
We give it to Reyna, who's probably the Dawn Seeker leader at this. Just, yeah.
Do you think she'll believe us?
No, but
No.
I'm sure Solomon can whip up some kind of a lie. Like, don't worry.
Hey, we just met you, but this is crazy. But put this on. Trust us.
it gives like a tactical, like a sort of like eagle eye tactical view, of the battle area, and so you can command your troops with, you know, with essentially no fog of war.
This one actually.
Third person mode unlocked.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So just
Solomon.
put a pin in that idea for now.
Yeah, Solomon. Do you want to try to see if you can use any of these other devices or explore them, or does anybody else want to check them out, or do you want to try to get the centrifuge?
Let's try and get the centrifuge first, and then we can just go after that.
Okay. The next question there would be, what do you do? Let me describe the room again. It's this room has a whole bunch. I think it was like 11 of these pods. You've seen these pods before. They look like this. And they are connected to some sort of mobile thing below it, whether it's a gravimetric device or something. You can't actually see what is at its bottom, but they are slowly ambling about the room, spinning around, bumping into each other. They look like a bunch of Roombas, as it were, just like bumping into each other, stopping, turning around, going on and on. And on the far end of the room is a lot of med tech equipment, including a working centrifuge with all the parts necessary that you need. Solomon, you would have no problem removing those parts, and it would not take long. It would take maybe a round if you could get there.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to roll for it?
Well, do you just go in the room, go get the parts?
Yeah. I'm gonna go in there and get what we originally came here for, and then we can just
Okay.
Figure
Are there
out.
any bodies in these Roombas that are moving around? Like the
Very good question. Yes. 2 of them have bodies in them. They look horrified.
So these things like hover on their own. I'm thinking that if we lash them together, we might be able to just like, pull them like a balloon behind one of the beetle camels.
Yeah, that
So
would work.
yeah, because if these work as low berth, then a little bit of extra capacity. But they also hover, so that's new, different. But yeah,
we could
either
have
way.
hover Roombas. Like,
So you're suggesting getting some rope and trying to pull them out of the room and take them with you?
Yes.
Okay. Solomon, what do you think?
yeah, let's try it.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
All right. Who has the rope and who gives it a try?
Well, I have a net.
I have a sling. Do we have any other, like, we got a tarp, right? Did someone get a tarp for
Someone
Yes,
has.
yes, I do. I think we still got it. I think we picked it up after we saved Jerry, the sand beetle, our camel beetle.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's no rope or like any like cord or cabling that we could use, then we could maybe use the tarp to bunch them together.
Okay. So who attempts to do this and how do you do it?
I
Almond
guess,
is old, so can't count him into this.
I guess Niall would. Does it seem like there's a place on these where like a tie down point kind of thing, or like a good place to tie, like loop a rope through? Because if there is, then you'd probably go more towards the rope aspect and try to find some like loose electrical cords, something like that, or like broken stuff that you could yank out the walls or something.
It does appear that there is a small gap between some sort of static line, either a vent or like a pump line, or something that sits on the back, and you're able to determine this is some sort of hover device, whether it's a gravimetric or some other hovering device. And anyways, the mechanism that is doing that is on the back, and there is a place that you could feed it through, and it's a metallic static line, so it's not, you don't think you'll be able to rip it off if something were connected.
Okay, so yeah, he'll try to scavenge some cord or cabling.
Oh, sure. You're able to easily find some cabling. This place is ruined, and there's lots of old, rotten cabling. You're able to find some and square knot them together enough to where you can run an extension of them. It's a bit heavy, but you're a pretty beefy guy. So now you have this long bit of cabling.
Okay. He'll kind of tie them in sequence, ducks in a row, kind of, to trail behind.
So you go to approach one. You're gonna feed it through. Make a dex save. Roll under your dexterity.
Wait, some 9, so that is higher than my dex.
Okay. You see now, go in the room. He starts to try to feed this through the back of one of these things, and it turns to face him, and all of a sudden it opens, and it's just like Pac-Man or Hungry Hippo. It just goes, and it just like eats him, and it brings him into it, and then you see like his foot like crush, and part of his foot is
Oh.
stuck on the outside.
Oh.
You take
Niall, you alive?
5 damage to your endurance. And,
Okay, that is not great.
and
That is
you
one
are
hungry, hungry
inside this
hippo.
thing. Yeah, and you don't hear anything from him. It seems to be sealed. And then it just like turns and it just goes back to bumping randomly and gently into the other pods. Meanwhile, now I'll describe what you see. You go in this pod and all of a sudden, and it hisses after it slams shut. You're on this really cushy velvet padded interior, and it starts to air condition. Like it pressurizes and the air becomes really dense and cool, easy to breathe. And you hear a gentle male voice, an effeminate, gentle, soothing male voice that says, "Sit back, be at ease, and roll a d10.
D10. This is the House of Horrors. 6.
We could use this place as a secret prison.
Why do we need a secret prison?
A needle comes down from inside of this velvet padding, and it says, "Just relax, take it easy. Everything will be taken care of here. There's, we're here just to serve you." You know, it just says like all these and there's this needle that comes down and it starts.
Can I try to like wrestle the needle away?
Yeah, you could totally try to wrestle the needle inside of the tube with the velvet couch. Yes.
I don't think I can effectively pull out any of my weapons in here. So
You start.
nervous. Is this
you're
an-
trying to hold back the needle? Go ahead.
Is this a needle for acupuncture, for putting a tattoo on, or for euthanasia? What kind of pod is this?
I don't want to know.
Meanwhile, with everyone else, you just see him get gulped up by gobbled by this pod, and then it starts bumping around into the other pods.
All right, let's go get him out.
Yeah.
You guys not touch
All right.
anything.
You guys,
Do the pods have like a control panel on them, like for local like opening, closing, stopping?
it does look like there's a control panel in the bottom left of each pod.
Right near my foot.
Okay, everybody goes in, tries to help him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there
Yeah.
any like
Someone take a look at
Is
the
there
control
control
panel.
panels
The
around
rest
here?
of us will see if we can pry it open or something manually.
Yeah, I'll look for a control panel while you guys try just brute force your way through it. See if I can just
Oh no,
push the open
not the
button.
dangerous music.
Turns
This
out
is
we
how the
awakened
group
the
wakes
space
up
Kraken.
3,000 years later.
Fun campaign, guys. Now you're in the far, 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 far future.
Nice.
That's
And our ship is
Technology hasn't changed at all.
Is this the place where they went home, like in Soylent Green? You know.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Where have I heard this from?
One of them is already nice and full. 2 of them are. I'm gonna. Meanwhile, everybody else, I'm gonna kind of put just a drawing back here where the system is that you're trying to get to. And also we have everybody else. We've got Chapman, Solomon, Mal, who is gobbled up.
Yeah.
All it up and really hurt.
Not that, sorry.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Radamant and Gus. And we'll also have books. Okay. So you guys go into the room immediately. These things go and they all face you and start and like coming towards you hungrily.
Okay. I'm just gonna look for a way to somehow deactivate this peacefully without using my shotgun.
You're confident that if you can make it to that those systems over there, that one of them might be a computer system, and you might be able to do like a nice, simple KOTOR style shutdown.
Okay. And what kind of rolls would I have to make to get over to those control panels?
Well,
And,
you can tell me first what you would think you'd like to try to do, but what's clear to you is that there are a bunch of these things that are going to try to come after you like linebackers. There's at
Right.
least 3
Great.
of
We could
them.
all
Oh, go ahead.
we could all just bum rush it and bob and weave and just gamble on at least one of us getting to the computer and brute force it.
Could we like push one and use it to block the others? Like
No,
if we
because it
like,
might grab you and gobble you up. What if you guys form a defensive line and just give me an opening without damaging the things, and I'll run over there because I have the highest success rate with computers, I think.
Doing an Ender's Game.
That's exactly yeah. I was thinking an Ender's
Pretty
Game.
much.
well, I mean, is this like opening like a clam? You know, to basically.
Yeah, it's like and then just
Opening
like
a
that.
very metallic clamp. Yes.
So yeah, that's why I was like, if we could get like on the side of it and like turn it, you know, perpendicular to all the other ones, that we could just use one to run interference.
Okay.
And
Sounds like you could do all of this. Sounds like you could do all of it.
use
Okay.
that to kind of create the screen, so get to the computer, and you know,
How
shut
about
down.
this? Gus and I are each going to come at one of them from either side. It's like one from the left, one from the right, so that we can arrange that. It won't have just one of us to target. And we're going to try to hijack it basically to do that sort of shielding maneuver, which is going to give the opening for somebody else to be able to get past without being targeted by so many of them.
All right. Well, let's start with that, and we'll kind of take it step by step and add it to the captain's plan here. So starting with Chapman and Gus, each of you roll below your strength or dex pick, and you'll subtract 2 from the roll.
That is under either strength or dex.
Right.
With the modifier, I got a total of 5 under my dex of 10, so I did well.
Excellent. You are able to distract it. It like turns toward one of you, and then the other one tackles toward the control box, and you grab a hold of it, and you're wrestling this thing, and it's trying to like, wriggle free of your control. You both have tackled it. This is all occurring within seconds, while another 2 are coming towards you all, and then the rest are kind of like bumping into the others behind it as they're all trying to devour you.
Get away from the clams.
So, what you're gonna try to take this and then like use it as part of a wall? Is that the plan?
I mean, yeah, basically, like, you know, like if they're coming at us, you know, head on, basically, like each of us are you know, Chapman
Sure.
and I are side by side, creating, like, putting that in between them and their oyster, or you know.
This works. You rip out part of the controls, the gravimetrics, which you come to find out that's what it is. You rip them out, and it falls over onto its side, and you lift it up, and you both each have this giant log-like thing, and it's going, and it's like trying to like chomp down as you are holding the back side of it, and you're holding off the others with this thing. So you have one side covered. I will say that leaves one more side. Radamant, what do you think?
Oh, shit. I guess I'll try to hold the other side.
Okay, I'll roll for books. Books.
Okay.
9 minus 2. I actually don't know books' stats. Oh wait, no, I have them right here. Yeah, that's right, because his intelligence is 12. He fails. Do you succeed?
I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, under your
Okay.
dex or strength.
Okay. I will roll Dex. 2d6. Oh, nope.
Well, is that with the
Wait,
minus
I
2,
did-
right?
Okay, yeah, I did roll under my Dex. Okay. Okay. I'm
And
good.
actually, I'm looking. It would be under his strength.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
same
Okay.
thing. You guys are able to rip the power box that is controlling the electronic control unit for the gravimetric, the thing that's letting it hover. And then you pull it over on its side, and then you guys like form this wall as you make your way up to the controls. And Solomon goes up there, and then you guys are just like holding these things back like a wall as they're like flapping, and these others are bumping into it as hard as possible. Some of them are starting to come up over and starting to like yap at you over the top. It's weird, man. Solomon, you make it to the computer, but you've never seen it. What is your computer skill?
Let me take a look. It is. Oh, where did my? Oh, here it is. It is current at. Two.
Okay, 2. I think that this will be actually electronics. I apologize.
Oh. Okay.
It's better, right?
See. I think so. I got engineering 5.
It would be
admin
electronics.
4. I do not have electronics.
Really?
That's one. Surprisingly not. Wow.
It says
All right, you
operate.
want to trade spots, buddy? Cause
If you want to trade spots, I'm down for it.
oh, jeez.
Okay, yeah. What is your
Anybody have a
electronics?
higher electronics than 1, by the way?
I have electronics of 1. No.
All right.
Better
I
not
have
be
it.
Niall. I'll be so mad.
So you,
Nope, I don't have that.
it is simply an 8. You have to roll an 8,
Come
or a
on.
round
we
shall
gotta-
pass.
You can do this.
Can you hear us, Alex?
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Am I rolling over or under 8?
Ah, yes. In this case, you'll roll to meet 8 or higher.
Gotcha.
Oh no.
I got a 7.
Oh no. Okay, a round passes. And meanwhile, you're like trying to like access these systems and try to figure out how to turn them on, and and these things are like rah, 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 yapping behind them. They're trying to use 2 of them to hold them off, and they are trying to get free, and the others are trying to get over. So everybody that's trying to hold the line can roll 2d6 to get under strength or dex, and
Okay.
you need at least 1 to maintain your barricade on either side.
Okay.
Book
Do we get the
succeeds.
-2 modifier, or just
Uh,
because I
yes.
did not?
I'll say
Oh,
yes.
well, with-
got mine.
With -2, I do make it.
Okay.
Yep, I make it.
What about let's see,
Solomon.
Solomon? Yeah.
I got a 7.
Okay. Yeah, that passes. All right. So you are able to hold it for another round. All right. So they buy you a little bit more time, Chapman.
I just want to angrily shout at everyone, this is a stupid way to die.
Being devoured by cryopods.
Yes.
These are kind of cool cryopods. We got to take these back to the ship.
Right.
We're bringing the low birth to you, not you coming to the low birth.
In Russia, no birth. You
Come to you. Perfect.
Man, I'm gonna get so demonetized in Russia. I'm already there. They don't like my traveler videos. This is just gonna be worse.
They don't like your trap. Okay, that's a different topic. We'll have to talk about that.
Apparently, we gotta cool it with all of the talking about murdering innocent people stuff all the time.
Right?
Wow.
Okay. All right. Let's see if you can pass.
Take
that.
another roll.
Yeah.
I got an 11 this time.
Nice. You're able to bring the system online and quickly find a way to just shut everything down. Everything. They stop. All stop.
And the Zidani consulate that comes to you? I don't know. I'll workshop it.
So do we know which one Nile was in?
No, but we could
Yeah.
just open them all up. Oh wait.
Niall, I want you to know that if your foot is broken, I'm gonna put you down like a horse.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, you're easily able. In fact, this thing just opens and now goes tumbling out. You failed your save, but it's okay. It doesn't hurt you. But what it did, he comes tumbling out, and he has like a tattoo covering his face all the way down to his neck of interlocking geometric shapes.
Like
Ooh.
Mike Tyson.
Dope.
Yeah.
It's got like a Mike Tyson tattoo going on.
The Windows screensaver.
Yeah.
The pipes, or
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, so that's what you see. These two people are long dead. The ones that fall out of these. They are human, however. In fact, they are probably Villani. Solomon, you don't know what that is. But for the people from Charted Space, you know that there are different types of humans and different genetic codes. You have a faint idea that they all share a origin. For some of you, that might be a conspiracy theory or just not important, actually, in Charted Space. But for Solomon, you begin to tell, though, that your companions, there's something different about them. A little bit taller, a little bit beefier, a little bit hardier. Otherwise, very different. Different skin tones, different build. Like they're very different. They just seem healthier. And anyways, the two bodies that come tumbling out are alike to that.
Are these bodies wearing like uniforms or anything?
No, probably some kind of like bland.
Civilian
Yeah.
hospital gowns or something. Yeah.
are they similarly tattooed?
I guess I should check. One.
Niall obviously can't see his face, so he's just gonna act like nothing happened. In that regard, until someone tells him or he sees it.
Well, Nile already had tattoos, right? So it would be like,
So he has a new tattoo.
yeah.
Yeah, he had none that were visible in a spacesuit before.
One of them is like super slimy and oily and they
Oh.
smell like perfumes and like you know, Bath and Body Works, just covered in product, and they just slide.
211.
They just slide out of the pod like that. The other one is completely a dried husk and like falls out, and actually half of its body just crumbles, just like a husk. Its mouth frozen open, and but it smells overwhelmingly like dried lavender.
Oof.
I mean, it sounds like these are built with the intention that they should be relaxing and, you know, comfy and all vacation oriented. It's just
Sounds like a spa day went wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something that
wrong.
would be obvious to you, Solomon, is that these pods, they share a technology with low births, but they are completely beyond repair. They would be more useful for parts than risking someone's life to get inside one of these pods.
Okay, so if we can just take most of them for parts, but leave 2, if we can try and get 2 functional, we can bring those back with us. We could use those as
Well, they have grav
as
or hover.
Yeah.
asset.
Yeah.
We could use them as asset procurement.
Containment.
Yes.
Could we? Is it possible to separate the hover thing from the rest of the pod, or is the hover stuff just attached to it, or is it integrated?
It is attached. You could dismantle it in order to actually have it used and to be able to carry it. It's very heavy, it would be, you know what it'd be like? It would be like taking a vehicle and removing a transmission from it, and being like, "Oh, I'll just have this transmission with me."
Because we could potentially fashion a sled.
You
Yeah.
could you could create a gravimetric device. There are 2 downsides that I'll note. One is that it will take some time. Solomon, you are confident you can do that, though. The other thing is
Sand
you've been
bracket.
warned not
Right.
to use vehicles, but although you have used a vehicle.
We have, and we haven't encountered Sand Kraken again.
We
What
have
could
used
go
the
wrong?
vehicle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you borrowed a armored personnel carrier and did donuts in the desert with it for 3 hours.
Yep, I did.
Technically, we bought
Wait.
it, right?
You also did that?
That's future us. Don't
I
worry
don't-
about
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm gonna say I don't remember
Oh,
this.
sorry, yeah, that's
Oh
in
yeah,
the
that is
future.
futurist. Yeah.
So confusing when you time travel.
We bought a lot of good things and made a lot of profit.
Yep.
I can't wait to be filled in on all that. Okay, yeah, because that's the thing I was thinking of immediately was like, is this different enough where like it wouldn't affect the sand kraken? But if it does run that risk, then we may just be better off just maybe taking it, just having a normal drag sled. I don't know.
I mean, it hovers above the surface. So it's like quiet engine plane.
yeah,
Well, it was something about like, was it like it's kind of like Dune-like, right? It's like the engines or something like that. I don't know if it was ever clarified what exactly about vehicles attracts the Kraken.
no one ever even said anything about a kraken. They just warned you not to bring vehicles out.
Oh, that's fair. I'm making presumptions.
But
Yeah, it's
also,
actually,
for what it's worth, you can
vehicles
also
attract lawyers.
you can sand lawyers. You can also they walk single file to hide their numbers. That's the sand lawyers. But
Yeah, we gotta watch out for those.
but
They'll get you.
you can fly. So gravimetric devices like air cars and grav cars, and air rafts, they can fly. They can go all the way up to low orbit. Just very, very slowly. They become weaker as they start going up. But yeah, just so you know, yeah.
I say we move on to get ourselves armed by some other horrible contraption in this place, and then brainstorm ways that we can make use of it.
Yeah, we could maybe just add this to the list of things with the that ship. We got a long list of things.
Oh, you guys are gonna try to salvage all this stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
no.
we might as well while we're here, you know.
Or are we doing that now, or are we checking the other rooms first?
We should check
Say-
the other rooms.
Well, wait, I
First-
thought this was the room that also had the centrifuge in it.
Yeah, you can get the
Yeah.
centrifuge
Yeah.
parts. That will require all of one person's encumbrance. Unless you brought your critters with you, and then of course it's no problem at all.
Oh yeah, did we take the
Leave-
camel beetles?
I don't see why we wouldn't have, since we traveled from
Right.
the
Yeah.
ranger's place over to here.
Oh, we should make sure that the Smokey the Bear cultists didn't take our camel beetle.
I mean, I don't think they would. I mean, they're pretty
You
standard
can't
guys.
trust them. They worship a robot. Okay.
They don't worship a robot. They
Look,
worship
look.
dead
Wait,
aliens.
The dead aliens, the drug aliens,
That's a totally normal thing to worship. Stop being so judgmental.
right?
We're
I
gonna-
mean, Look, I've been
Well-
through the galaxy. I've seen
What
a lot
if
of weird
we
stuff.
can like do the old switcheroo and give them these corpses and sneak out the drug corpses,
I don't
and they
think they'll
will
be.
never know the difference.
Yeah, I don't think
They
they'll
will
be-
know the difference.
They will know the difference. They
It
will
was
know
at
the
that
difference.
moment they noticed the difference.
Right? They will know the difference, and they will come for us.
Not once we get a crazed AI in a space can. Like,
Never piss
But that's
off.
later.
Never look. Let me give you a piece of advice. Never piss off space fundamentalists.
we'll
I
deal
don't even have the sense that those guys were fundamentalists.
with
Man,
they're just like a tribal people on this planet. That's it. They weren't even that weird. We've met weirder.
look, were you there for when we had to cut our hands open in front of the dead alien corpse and like bleed on it?
That's
Yeah,
a fair
Yeah,
point.
that was like nothing. Are you kidding me? The
Fair.
other guys were
You didn't
speaking
do
in
Blood
tongues.
Brothers when you were growing up?
You guys are just standing around
No.
arguing about what to do around all
They
the
made us-
corpses of cryopods, and
We went through worse
Niall
shit in the
standing there
Imperial
with like
military.
geometric shapes
True.
on his face. No one's bothered to
True.
tell him yet.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, you might want to look into a mirror. You got a little something on your face.
What? He's gonna try to look at the visor of his helmet.
Yeah.
You see, you're covered in plaid
Oh no!
squares and
He's gone to
circles.
plaid.
Is it the same tartan as his like sash?
He's got plaid.
Don't worry, we can probably get that removed, maybe, unless you like it. I don't know.
I'm
You
actually on
might-
that.
You might get used to it. You might, It's a good look.
I think there was something else about that tat.
Oh.
It glows in
Conferred
the
psionic
dark.
powers upon him, right? Right?
Oh, actually, it does actually. So
What?
No.
No, kinda. Sorry, it's not that cool. Sorry. You have to. I don't want to forget this, so this is for Niall to write
Okay.
down. So maybe you like look in the helmet and like you look in the corner, and it's dark enough and shaded enough in here that by just doing that and getting out of the light, they beam white. These glow bright white in the dark.
Oh.
So much for stealth.
Don't
That's
worry
cool.
about it. It's fine.
Interesting. So I now
We'll
have
give
a
away our tactical position. It's
flashlight or
fine.
lantern tattoo or
Your
something.
bioluminescent.
Interesting.
Okay. So Captain,
chop.
yeah,
We got some other horrible things to check out.
yeah. Do you want to do that? Is that you want to continue checking out the other tech here, or do you want to move on with the parts, or what do you do, Captain?
Let's investigate a couple more rooms, see if there's any other tech that we can take, and if there's nothing else of interest, we can just get to town on the parts and decide what we're gonna do with them.
This room. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, like, can Niall walk?
Oh yeah, he's fine, but in horrible pain. Like you have 5 damage to your endurance right now,
Oh God.
He's
which
kinda, like,
affects things
using-
mechanically in the game. So like if you get in
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat, your time of survival is just reduced dramatically.
Yeah.
Right.
He's got like a minus. I see it has like a -2 in his sheet or something like that. Yeah. So he's gonna use his rifle as like a walking stick kinda, and like he is just ready to shoot the first bit of technology that moves.
Okay. Well, going clockwise, this was the room that had the it has the entire room is full of a bumpy surface, which you find to be human teeth. Except
Oh.
I don't know how to explain this, but it's like imagine that it's all one wall, like how a soundscape is made, or like some kind of stucco maybe. And then as you look closer, you can see that the bumps are actually the formations of teeth, and the whole thing is a tooth bone mold, and the whole room is a circular mold of tooth bone matter. Well, anyways.
I might grab a few spares, while we're here.
You never know.
Okay.
I might need some more teeth.
Yeah.
In this room, if you approach the room, a set of glowing molds, which is kind of like at the dentist, what you would put on your teeth. Like you like bite down on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A set of molds begin to glow as you approach, and
Ooh.
and otherwise, yeah. And if you want to chip off the floor and get tooth matter for some reason, you can totally do that. Nothing seems to happen. You can actually remove chunks of tooth bone.
Gotcha. Nobody put their mouth on that thing, though. Nobody wants to lose any teeth
No.
today.
No.
Just come out with like enamel armor or something. You're just all tooth.
Oof.
All right. Anyways, moving on. Another room has. I think this is actually the skill room that you finished in. It has a pair of walk-on skill pads behind a crumbling wall. Each of the 2 pads have footprint marks. They kind of look like, you know how, how the TSA has like footprint marks and you're supposed to stand on them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's 2 sets
Or
of
go to
them.
jail.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know that one.
I've never been to jail, but I've heard.
Do you guys want to try use the the teeth around here on the bone molds, or does anybody want to try and bite down on
I'm not biting down on that.
No.
No,
That's how you-
I've done enough at this torture.
It will interpret that as a donation of your teeth to the art project.
Niall's in a
Solomon
mood
will-
where if he had a grenade, it would have been used.
Solomon will try and bite down on this.
Solomon's gonna bite down on it.
Oh no.
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
You go in. This is a
Alright.
terrible idea. You go in, you bite down on it,
This is the worst.
and then you hear like for a second he's like, "Oh, it's fine," and then all of a sudden, and he starts like shuddering and shaking, and he's holding his face and
extracting his
terrible pain, and he screams, and his screams eventually turn into like whelps of like misery, like a pathetic kind of, like, and he slumps to his knees, and he's still hanging by the tooth mold, and then finally, and then like the tooth mold gives out, and he slumps forward, and your friend is down on the ground, slumped on the ground, semi-unconscious.
Oh, more
does he
torture
have-
devices, guys.
Toothless, I take it.
You go check on him?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, yeah. You go over, you turn the body over, and he looks up at you, and he looks like a vampire. He's got like
Oh.
fangs, and they're like partially made of like adamantine. And
Okay.
you can
That's
now
pretty-
your mouth. You can also tell his jaw is reinforced, and you can now bite someone for D6 damage.
Nice.
Wow.
Ooh.
Holy shit. Wait a second. I thought this place was like a vacation resort. What was this for?
This
Hey,
is
man.
a vacation resort
we don't
slash.
judge.
People
They
get
got
like
the
crazy
coffins that
cosmetics.
eat people, vampire teeth. I mean, is this Dracula's?
This is Ravenloft.
This is
in
this
space.
is the decadence of the ancients, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like this is
Who would build some stuff like this?
who would do this. Well,
Who would do
we saw
why?
what happened to them.
Right?
Yeah. You might have to learn how to smile with your lips closed.
No, this is more threatening.
He looks
Solomon,
very
the Baron
threatening.
Admiral Doctor
Vampire, yeah.
Vampire.
Vampire.
Cyborg vampire, actually.
Yes. There we go. See? It was all fine. All right. Anybody else want to bite down on this?
They're gone,
I'm good.
unfortunately.
Oh,
I
dang it.
like my teeth the way they are.
All right. All right. So what do you guys want to do? Should we continue our investigations, or
Well, I
shall
know
we?
there was. I think it's the northwest chamber had the arms and feet holes. That I'm not losing a limb over. I've already
Oh,
lost.
I'm checking one of those out.
Okay. Yeah, it has. I'm sorry if it was the northwest chamber.
I mean,
I
that's
believe
just
you-
how I wrote it out. I might be
No,
wrong.
Yeah. It has. This mechanism's half buried in sand. There's a black metal slab with 4 indented holes clearly intended for arms and legs. And there's a diagram of a smiling, limbless man in front.
Oh boy. Who wants to get
No,
awesome
no.
cyber limb
Come on, guys.
scar?
This one even
No.
provides us a diagram of the consequences. We do not have to.
Look.
It's clearly
All I'm
saying
saying-
it's a smiling figure.
All right.
All
How
I'm
about
saying,
compromise?
I'll
Body
try it.
from other room.
I'll try it.
Yo, that's smart. Take one of the oily bodies
Ah.
and just put it in here.
If there is
Yeah.
some
No,
sort of
it's not
cyber
about-
limb, we can hack it off. Deal with that later.
Which body?
Exactly.
Hmm.
Okay, maybe not the slippery
Well,
one.
one's
Maybe the fake one.
desiccated. It'd have to be the slimy
Ooh.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
To use the slimy one.
yeah.
Is there any way to like? Oh, who wants to clean the lotion off of its skin?
Oh, I mean,
No.
Oh, so that's who created this.
does anyone have that tarp still?
Just,
Yeah, who gets the slimy guy?
Well,
We'll
well,
just-
I
we'll
know.
just-
We just go get sand from one room and just pour it on the slimy guy, and the sand will
Okay.
act
look,
as a
no.
absorbent.
All you're gonna have now is a slimy, sandy dude.
No. We'll take the tarp. We'll just give it a once over to wipe off any like outer layer of gunk, and then we'll put some sand on it, make it easier to carry. It's gonna
We
be.
need to start-
Come on, guys. We're travelers. We're in the desert. You're gonna get your hands a little dirty. All right.
Gosh. Okay, so I start like de-sliming this guy as best I can.
All right. Let's move this
I-
body over to this. I don't
We
know
really
what
need
you'd
it.
call it.
We really need to start
The
bringing some, like,
quadriplegic.
That's my only slimy,
Maker.
squishy,
Oh,
tarpy
God.
sounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you do that.
what are you doing to that body?
Well, he's sliming him, okay?
Breaking every bone
Don't
as
bother
well.
him while he's de-sliming. That happens. And then you're surprised at how good Radamant is at this. And
Expert.
if I may say so. And he brings the body out and with a tarp that's completely ruined. And he's not slimy. And he still smells nice.
I used to work in mortuary services.
Oh, nice.
Is this in character or out of
Like
character?
in character.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, you take the non-slimy, still squishy person, and you put their limbs in there, and their limbs are just crushed, and then the bones are just like frayed and floured, like splintered open, in places like a flower, and it's just like an absolute disaster.
Ooh, that's not good.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing even the intended
Yeah.
benefit of this
Yeah.
one. So
Like, why would anyone even want to do that? Oh no.
you think maybe it was originally meant to give manicures and pedicures or something?
I doubt. I mean, I don't know. These people.
I mean, the
I don't
picture
like
even
it.
shows no arms or legs.
Man, he's
You want
smiling,
to try
like,
the husk guy?
Let's try the husk.
He's easy to drag and dry. He's kind of like a
Yeah,
pork
it is.
rind.
Yeah,
He's
I
just-
just pick him up.
Yeah, it's no problem. You just pick him up under your arm, just like a
Perfectly, yeah.
mannequin. Yeah, no problem. And-
Like a giant chinchorone.
All that lavender.
And he smells like lavender. And you bring him in, and you have to like collapse him up, right? And he
Yeah.
snaps in two and falls apart. So you have to like take the top part and like maneuver it in, and the bottom part. And when you do this, all of a sudden, and then like big fleshy, healthy arms and limbs like flop in place where they're like turned into big healthy fleshy arms and limbs from their previous ruined husk. And he falls backwards into the two halves that he's fallen into, with completely healthy, fleshy limbs and an otherwise dry, desiccated husk body.
Ooh, we could make some money off of this. Hey,
Wait a sec.
You have a broke.
I
You have a broke.
have
You have
a third experiment to run. I have a feeling I know how this is gonna go.
Okay.
Okay, take one of those nice, fresh, healthy limbs on this otherwise desiccated corpse, which I imagine is very gross. Let's just say the left leg. Just put that one in for a second run.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do that.
Okay, you do that. Blender.
Yeah, I had a feeling. This thing has an upper limit to how much good it's gonna do, yeah, and then...
Well, hang on.
It fix a broken foot.
Put its left arm in.
Same thing, yeah. Blender.
Blender?
Yeah.
So I have a prosthetic arm.
I wouldn't.
Well, what I feel like it might just, like, moisturize and help rejuvenate an organic thing, and it's just that what we had put in it, the first thing we put in it, and now these last two things were already, you know, more or less healthy and filled with fluid and all of that.
Yeah.
You
It would be nice to have another arm.
Too bad
All right.
this isn't. It's too bad we don't have there isn't a kidney making machine in this place.
Yeah, and I don't want to spend the rest of the time in this place with one arm.
No, nor do I. Let's go on.
Yeah, the only
Yeah,
other
let's-
place is the place with the 2 feet things next to each other.
All right. So
Well,
I think we're pretty sure what this thing does.
Are we?
Mm,
What did the rest of the room look like?
It is ruined. Most of the room is ruined. Behind a crumbling wall are 2 footprint marks on the floors. As you look closer, the footprint marks look sort of like metallic buttons, but are in the shape of feet for someone to stand on. And they're side by side to each other. There's nothing else about this room, no control panels that you could see at least, wires or anything like that.
I don't want to sacrifice 2 members to this one.
Yeah, well, half the room's ruined. Is there like a bits of rubble that we could get and maybe drop on the footprints?
Sure, you take some rubble and put it on the footprints.
Well,
and-
do we want to do that? let
Oh.
me preface with that. What does everyone else think?
We could do it from a distance, maybe. I mean, there is the
Yeah.
broken wall that we
Like
could maybe hide
drop
behind some
and
of
dive to the side or something?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you do that, place something, you intelligently find a way to maintain a safe distance on the other side of the wall, and a monotone voice somewhere within the walls says, "Error. Requirement. Bipedal organic life form required."
Oh.
All right, books, you're going to take one for the tea. I'm kidding. We're not doing that.
Watch books get drawn and quartered live.
right?
Live on air.
I don't know. I think I said last session that I suspect this could have been some kind of horrible
Yeah.
variation on Dance Dance Revolution.
It's
But if it is 2 sets of
a
footprints, maybe it's like a mind
militarized
swap.
vacation area. Okay,
Yeah.
you have come to that conclusion.
What's the closest equivalent that we would have in any spa that we might have seen or heard of?
None,
'Cause
but this is
This
militarized.
is completely new.
It was a spa at first, and then some big old war happened in aeons past, and the military took it over and turned it into like a POW camp where they interrogate everybody. So that's the running theory, because oh my god, these devices.
My theory is
Why?
that this was not completely accidental, that all of this was just like the decay of things over time going wrong, going haywire. I don't think any of this was somebody's intention.
If it was, they're sickos.
Yeah.
All right, Captain. What do
Yeah.
you think we ought to do with the rest of our session time? Because
Let's collect the parts, and then do we want to make it to Larstown, or do we want to take this back to the Dawn Sea?
Just to clarify, none of these parts are things we could use to fix that ship, right? This is all completely incompatible with the system.
the centrifuge.
The
Yeah,
other
it's just
stuff.
a centrifuge.
On the matter of the
Okay.
ship, so you saw multiple ships. You didn't explore the other ones, except that you saw one had a campfire, right? And you did see one shuttle, which you're confident was intact enough to operate. In the case of either that ship or any other one, you know that you need parts and time. The parts, you had a whole graveyard of ships that you could explore. So there's a good chance you might, with enough time, be able to at least make a really good assessment. Like, okay, I need this part or
Okay.
something. But yeah. Meaning,
have enough
that
time
is
to
to
do
say
that,
you
though.
probably don't need any of these parts here for that.
Right.
Right. Do we have enough time though before the Dawn Seekers get to Larstown and do what they're
I
gonna do?
mean, they're probably gonna get there. We're like, from how long it's taking us to get here, like if we got back, it would be mid-siege. I'm thinking.
True.
Yeah, and we would be the knights in shining armor, come and break the siege, coming in from the east. Okay.
Do we really care about Larstown though?
No, but it has
It's
the
our way
space
back to
elevator
our
right
ship.
there. Yeah.
We're way off the planet, so
But we have things that we can barter with the Dawn Seekers, to get to our ship if necessary.
Not really,
How are the
because they don't
Dawn
have a
Seekers gonna
space
help us get to
elevator,
our ship?
and there's a space
Yeah.
laser keeping us on the ground. So we got to go save Larstown.
I guess.
We'll be
Aside
knights in
from the-
shining armor atop our valiant camel beetle steeds. Okay.
Aside from the
Alright.
centrifuge, did we ever get a clear description of what it was the Dawn Seekers wanted? Or just like we know what we saw it kind of thing?
Oh, they wanted the same thing. They wanted the
Okay,
centrifuge parts, yeah.
Okay.
So I say we should give it to the doctor, because Larstown is gonna need it, and we need to gain some favor so we can
Okay.
lift this lockdown.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. We could convince the Dawn Seekers that's there that we think this might be dangerous and it'd be better to let the doctor be the test run of it. That could be a way of like gray areaing, and like then this is just coming out of like flow of thought. Then his decision to do that we could use as a way to frame him if he agrees.
If you want to do that,
It's like, oh, he took this and gave it to your enemy and he has betrayed you. You must kill him, kind of thing.
Right.
okay. Yeah, we can try that. Why don't we try that, and then we'll figure it out from.
Could
'Cause
we
I got-
study this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I got no better ideas about what to do.
Would we be able to study this centrifuge enough to theoretically produce a duplicate with enough time? Or is it too advanced?
That would be too advanced. You would need a manufacturing facility. Very high tech.
Okay.
Unless you find a factory or something that would do that here on this planet.
If only future us had a factory.
Making our little wish list for
Do we always get a spit take from Ross?
Oh gosh.
Hmm.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
surprised you guys aren't dead yet, but it's fun.
I would say let's just go back to Larstown. It's the safest bet, and we don't want
Yeah.
any damage to the space elevator.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
all right. So you leave the facility and the gates. The Valley Rangers do not stop you. They just nod or ignore you entirely. You go back to where the robot is. He gives you all your weapons. If you don't already have them, you get your camel beetles back, no problem. They didn't steal anything, and you're certain of it. And they don't impede you in any way.
Wait, now did we harvest stuff from the centrifuge before we left?
Yeah, and of course you can put that on your
Okay,
camel
gotcha.
beetle, and no problem. You have the parts. You're confident you can package them in a way that, unless your camel beetle is swallowed by a monster or something, you think it's going to be fine. And it's not going to be affected over the next week or two in the sands. And you can see this ridgeline on the backside of that facility. And then a long, winding road that goes out, dozens of kilometers out to the east. Captain, where do you go? You have a little bit of the day remaining.
There was that watchtower, right? That was at the end of the road.
It's about 80 kilometers to the east or something.
So it's the wrong direction, but that's a thing.
And is there a
Yeah,
reason why we would want to head to the watchtower at all? And just any
Because we have attention deficit disorder.
Because loot. Yeah,
I
just to remember that, so I just wanted to vocalize it.
Okay, I mean, let's just head back to Larstown. If the golden gravestone comes back to haunt us and wants us to return the slab, Solomon will go touch it. But in the meantime, we should just...
No.
Which direction
America.
do you go? So to your west, you have the ridgeline that is just on the backside of the facility. To the east, there's a winding road that goes out dozens of kilometers to the east. And then, you have this dry valley that goes north-south between the ridgeline and that road.
Does anybody remember our way back to Larstown?
It's to the west.
Towards
West,
the
maybe
ridgeline?
southwest-ish.
Maybe
will
southwest,
recognize
maybe
it when we come
northwest.
across another landmark that we've been or that'll
We
be
should be
easier
able
to
to see
navigate.
the elevator when we get closer, theoretically.
Okay. What if we just take to the ridgeline and just look and see if we can spot any other familiar landmark?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go... Oh, go ahead.
Avoiding the Burt spot, which was I think a little more southwest.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where we all die.
The terrain gets rougher here. It takes the rest of the day, and you have to camp. The gas giant rises again the next day. You're able to continue on. It's like every 2. Oh no, I'm wrong. Every 24 hours.
Oh, so it's a normal day cycle.
It just eclipses the solar system every 21 days. So,
Interesting. In the, I guess like as we're packing up for the night, whatever, Niall will kind of look around the dunes and like do a beckoning gesture and whistle just on a hunch, expecting the dude with the conical hat to be somewhere.
Oh yeah.
you whistle, yeah, and you stop, look, listen, smell, do the whole thing. You don't find him. Not once in the day, not twice. Doesn't appear. You make it the next day over the ridge, and you make it back to this vertex of these 2 major mountain ranges where they narrow and meet the closest. Off in the distance to the south, Captain, it's a ship's graveyard that you pass through. It is a solid 35 kilometers off in the distance to the south. To the north is a lone rock formation that's strange. It's hard to tell Are these ancient structures of part of a city that was once here, or are the stones just like that? Sometimes scored and sculptured by the orbital laser cannons. Anyways, you've got this ravine or this gorge where the mountain ranges are narrow, and you've got a new mountain range to the west and the one you came from to the east. To the south is the ship's graveyard. To the north is an open area with a wadi for 100 kilometers, and then a lone rock formation far off away from that.
And
okay.
what time of day did you say it is?
This is the next
it's
day,
camp.
so it's during the day.
Graveyard, where we've been before, is about 7 hours and change by foot to get there.
Yeah.
Picking up on a bit of a stomped foot, we never did find that statue.
Yeah. That's okay. So from the graveyard, we came to.
Yeah,
We can go back to the
right.
Dawn Seeker camp, which then we can go back to from there.
Well, the Dawnsinger camp was like was it
east.
south? East?
To the
I think so.
I think southeast, but mostly east, and it's like the
Yeah.
opposite way from Larstown.
So if we go west, that should take us to Lars. Because
Well-
we traveled like
Well, no, it was southeast of Larstown.
south. So if we
So
go north,
it would be southwest of us, the way we came. Yeah.
okay. Well, let's just saddle up our camel beetles and go south. We'll just head in that direction. Go southwest.
So, oh, go ahead.
If we're going to Larstown, don't we want to go more west?
Or more
Yeah.
west, yeah.
Yeah, I think we
correct.
want to go directly west. We're probably going to follow a ridge line.
Yeah.
I don't. Do we? We don't want to go back to the Silver Spire with the do we?
No, not yet.
No.
No.
Okay, so to the west is this other mountain range. It's very intermittent. There are dunes here, overhangs, very sandy areas. It'll probably take a couple of days to pass through that range. You want to head west?
Yeah, we should just if we have to, I'd say we should force march ourselves through here to get to Lars as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
We might be able to beat that large army because they were all on foot. We're on camel beetles.
Yeah, they were definitely taking longer to get to Larstown that would have taken us to, but I think it was like 10 days, something like that. It would take them.
Yeah.
They did have a pretty substantial head start. I don't know that camel beetles are much faster than just walking. Although there's a lot of overhead to just moving large groups of people like an army that kind of slows you down. So
Yeah. So we should have the advantage in speed because they have to move people, make sure they have provisions, everybody's okay.
yeah.
It's just us with somebody with a stump leg, one person has fangs, and the other one has some great glowing tattoos. We're fine.
Being that it's like a couple days later, how does Nile heal?
Well, a couple of days. Well,
Okay.
okay, this is the second day. And
Yeah.
yes, you heal 1 point per day.
Okay.
So yeah, you are healing slowly. So anyways, you start to travel through these rocky outcroppings, and it's very thick sand and slow going. And on your third day, Captain, to your right you see something glinting in the sands. There are two parts. A metallic hand sticking up out of the sand, and part of a metallic skull with what looks like
Ooh.
an eye. And it looks like a human eye.
Thank God it wasn't the sand people. I was gonna say, take cover, everybody.
Do not go for galactic. What's his name? Vecna.
Galactic. Let's go.
Cyborg
just take a
Vecna.
look.
Okay, you go and look at it, and given your skill and engineering, and science, you immediately recognize what this is. This is a cybernetic, or this is an android. But what really draws your attention is the eye. That eye looks like perfectly a human eye, with what little bit of auxiliary power is still left in what is an obviously completely ruined android. The eye moves and shudders and moves around. It's still operable, and you can tell that there's an augmetic on the exterior of the eye. The actual cornea of this false eye is a universal cybernetic. That is to say, you think anybody could use it.
Okay, and would we be able to dig out this android body just to see how in disrepair it might be?
Sure, it's not hard to pull on. Most of it is completely ruined and in pieces, and all of the pieces are useless.
Even the
Whatever.
kidney?
Yeah, there's no android kidney, indeed, and most of the body is just gone, anyways. You think the only part that would be useful would be this cybernetic augment, and essentially what it is it's a contact lens that's cybernetic, but you don't know what it does.
Man,
Would there? Well, I'm thinking about taking the cybernetic eye contact, but would Solomon know? Is there any way to copy this technology to kind of repair this at some point later in the future?
Oh, you're gonna
If we were to take the body?
HK51 this?
Possibly.
You can totally take its android brain, and it's very unlikely that you can repair it, but given enough power and technology, it might be possible to repair this android person and see who they once were.
Yeah, we just gotta win several dozen games of Zoc.
I should have taken that Cicerone corpse.
No, you shouldn't have. No. No. Okay.
I'll take the android corpse and or the android brain and take the eye contact and put it in.
All right.
See if it
Oh,
has
you
any
put it
score.
in.
I'm gonna put it
Oh
on.
no!
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, it might know this land beforehand. Okay.
Roll under your endurance.
Ooh. Okay, that should be easy.
See how this goes.
Ooh. Thankfully not snake eyes. I got a 3.
Okay, so you rolled under it. It electrocutes you. You have terrible pain. You bowl over on the sand, and it connects into your eye. And when you look up, you can see not only does he have fangs, but he has like a human eye, and then he's got this like metallic black thing where his eyes turn black and
Jeez.
bruised. He's got this like light in his eye too. Solomon continually looks less human, meanwhile,
he's just anything and everything, isn't he?
so-
Right.
You know,
it's getting out of control.
the ad
Dr.
campaigns against
Admiral.
him are terrible, so he might as
Dr.
well fit the
Dr.
image.
Admiral General Vampire.
Yeah, his character sheet must be 3 pages long, just having to write down every fact about his character that's been established.
New title. It's okay when
It's
the
so
Neo-Yakuza the Neo-Yakuza come to abroad. You guys will have your own clans and your own planets to rule over, okay?
Oh my gosh. And he's starting a cult. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what happens. You start looking around, meanwhile, Solomon, and all of a sudden, it's like Terminator. You know how like the Terminator vision has like on the HUD, it has
Ooh.
like text that starts to display next to things. You look at your friends, and it starts like text displays next to each friend, but it's like question marks because it doesn't know what they are. But then you look at the android, and it goes, and it shows basically like traveler stats. It shows like a universal personality profile. And it shows their like stats, like literally their game stats. So this is the feature, okay? And I'm just gonna have you record this because I don't want to keep track of it. You
Okay.
have a circuit tracery AR overlay contact lens. So everything on Karth, you have a 50% chance of knowing all of its stats every time you look at it, if it's a new thing that you encounter. Or a previous thing that you've encountered that now you'll re-encounter with this AR overlay. If it's out in the sector after Karth, you have a 10% chance of being able to get that every time you encounter a new type of creature.
Interesting.
Okay, interesting. And so a 10% chance. Okay.
50% chance on Karth, and you can always remind me, like, hey, can I roll my 50% chance to know about this creature? You know, like you could look at the
my
camel beetles
Pokédex
right now.
now.
Yeah.
I would like to discreetly ask him if he can verify whether I'm smarter than books or not.
Yeah, I'll just take a look at everything that we got from Karth and just see if there's any noteworthy information that this android might have.
Well, as far as I know, there's only one creature you haven't looked at, and that's the camel beetles, and it has no information on them.
Ooh, it's a new race here on Karth.
You totally gotta look at the gold tombstone.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go touch that butt. Okay.
All right. So we are at time. So you were traveling your way west back to Karth, and that's where we'll end our adventure for the night.